Hello, I'm Ana Luisa, and I will present some negative impacts of the platformization of teaching in state schools in Paraná. And my argument is the imposition of digital platforms in public schools in Paraná without the proper pedagogical and emotional support intensifies the process of making teaching work more precarious, interfering both the health of teachers and the quality of teaching. And the first point that I want to highlight is the platforms because look at how many platforms we have the teachers have to do. And I brought this point because it's essential. It's it's something that needs to be seen because we need to take into consideration the actual scenario of the teachers because they have to use these platforms in class and they need to do to give a lot of content for their students in only one class or only 1 week of classes and is quite it seems quite impossible for to do it and it's also important to go beyond that they are monitored to use these platforms. They are monitored by the institutions that they work and also by the SED officials. And this real example of how the platformization could be something negative for teachers and for also for education. And the second aspect that I want to highlight is the lack of autonomy. And this topic, it's really strictly related to the platforms because it's a consequence of the use of the platforms. Because teachers of lose their autonomy with the use of these platforms, um, and also what mentioned before, the necessity and the obligatory to give also the content for the students, um, that usually it's indicated by BNCC to be applied in classroom. And main of this content don't make sense doesn't make sense to either the teacher or the student, and don't make sense for their context because usually our content is strictly abroad and not really interesting for the students and also for the teacher. And all these necessities goes to the lack of autonomy. The teacher loses their autonomy because it is impossible for the teacher to develop any kind of theme that they want to develop in class. And I brought an excerpt from an article that are presented by the written were written from by students, PB students that have contact with the public school scenario, and they presented this to in an ALIC in 2023, and that's it. Quando ao planejamento disponibilizado pela SED, os professores o apontam como engessado, pois ele não permite ao professor adaptação às suas próprias necessidades nem às necessidades dos alunos, sem que haja justificativa para tal, o que leva tempo e burocracia, além do sentimento de vigilância constante relatado tanto por professores quanto por pedagogos. And this excerpt reinforces what I said before. They don't have they don't have any kind of freedom to do what they really want to do in class. And that's it. And the the next point is teachers' mental health. Um, this topic is a result of the previous, because the use of the platforms and the lack of autonomy results in the teacher's mental health negatively. And in this table, you can see the kinds of suffering that the teachers pass in class, and could be anxiety, could be depression, and all these numbers are really high, and they point to necessity of how this all this platformization are affecting the teacher's mental health. This is a result of all these things. And to give more evidence about the teacher's mental health is this new and from one website, and shows that more than 1,000 teachers left their work because they were not capable to give classes because of their mental health. And it's really a situation that's really alarming. And as a as another example and another evidence of how the platformization impact negatively the teacher's mental health is the death of this teacher. And it had happened recently, and shows, and it's a sad result of all this struggle that teachers are passing through, actually. And shows and highlight, it's really important that highlight all these problems that usually is not mentioned, is not seen. And it's really important to get more attention for this, and to explain the reason why the teacher has passed by. I brought an excerpt from Andes, that is a sindicato from for teachers, and is that Silvaneide Monteiro Andrade, na última sexta-feira, 30 de maio. A professora, com apenas 56 anos, faleceu após um infarto fulminante no interior do Colégio Estadual Cívico-Militar Jaime Cané. Sua morte ocorreu após a professora ter sido convocada pela coordenação e pelo Núcleo Regional de Educação para ser criticada e cobrada por não atender às metas da plataforma de redação. And it reinforces and make more explicit what I said before. Because she was a teacher that was doing her work, and then everything is interrupted by one 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 thing bad, only because she doesn't achieve the goals that they want that she has. And I think that this example is one of the most important, because it points to necessity of really see this problem, this struggle, and that's it. And in my conclusion, I want to say that the platformization of teaching in Paraná has intensified teacher overload, reduced classroom autonomy, and severely impacted mental health. The death, the death of Silvaneide Monteiro Andrade is a tragic example of a system that prioritizes control over care. Urgent change is needed to restore dignity and support to teaching profession. And that's it. Thank you for watching my presentation and this all the references that I use to do the presentation. And thank you. Bye.